So Tojo, this is the third session, our last session. So again, what I'm trying to tell you here, that this generates random numbers. Can you hear me, Tojo?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so this generates random number from 1 to 10. And every time you run it, it will actually create a random number for you. But all these random numbers will be the same. Because you only run it once, so it will generate a random number between 1 to 10, and then fill in all the array with the same random number. If we run the same program again, then it will generate a different random number. Okay, and what you are doing it here, when you say multiplied by 10, so you are telling, okay, I want to create an array that have 10 places or 10 elements, okay, from 0 to 9. This is actually what you are doing here. Okay, so you are able to also generate float using this kind of concept. So it will generate a float like that. This is a float number. So you'll see also the number is generated, is the same number all over the array here. If every time we run, we will generate a different number. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So here, if I want to create an array of empty strings, so I will initialize the array in this way. Okay. Actually, you are not all the time required to initialize an empty array. It depends on the requirements. So you could be, it could be required, it could be not. Okay, but that is a way that you initialize an empty array of strings. So this is the kind of string that will result from this line.
Okay. But for the second one, why is it always 0.13?
Because same here. So why you not surprised to find this 7 all the time? It is the same, because every time, so this function generate a random number every time you run it. But here,
yes,
in this line, you only run it one time. So it will generate one random number and it will fill it in all over here. The same concept applies here. You see, I only tell him I want an empty string in all the 10 places. So it do the same. So that function or that method of initializing the array, it will take whatever random number generated here once. It will take one random number and put it all over the array.
Okay.
Okay. So just fast thing here. Although again that is out of our sequence. So I would say here. So can you see the numbers that I'm generating here? We generated 7 and 0.13. So I will run. I definitely can tell you that you will see different numbers here. So you see now it's 6 and it's different here. So I run again, you will see totally different numbers. Can you see?
Yes.
I run again, also a different numbers. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, good. So random, again, I don't think it is inside your syllabus.
Okay.
Okay, good. And yeah, let us move back here. So again, that should not be, I mean, we should not confuse you here. Again, that is not mentioned in your syllabus, but I wanted to show you here that a list actually that he is showing to you here in the current syllabus actually can take any kind of variable. So it can take string, it can take an integer, and it can take a character. And normal arrays, that is the way that we use a normal arrays. Okay, and we have to use it this way, and it can be only of one type. So it's an integer, a string, and so on. I make it clear before, and it should be clear now, right?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, but for the moment in the syllabus, we will call it a list, and that's it here. So okay, the Python operations on the array is actually need some functions. So to be able to insert to be able to insert a value into a certain index, you can use insert. Okay, so you pass it the index and you pass it the values that you want to put inside that index in that position. Okay, and if you want to remove an element inside the array, so you said the name of the array dot remove, and then you pass the value that you want to remove from the array, and then it will remove it. Okay, so this actually also, this is also a higher level of Python. So that is this is not surely not required in your syllabus. And X here is append. So I say here X is a variable name for the array, and append is you put this value at the end of the array. Does this make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, okay, let us have a look here. So, okay, so he asked, yeah, one way to check. So if you have an array and this array have, let's say, so let's say here you have 3 and here you have 4. So how you check the input that you put, that you entered is actually inside the array. So the array here is X. So this is the X array. Okay. And so you say num in X. If it is in X, then you print that. If it is not, then you print not in the list. So it means that this is a way that for you to check if a number is inside an array. You don't need to loop through the array to be able to. So the alternative, if you don't know this way, then you have to make a for loop, and then you have to go through all the elements inside the array to be able to find the element. So do you know how we can loop through the array?
Yes.
Okay, so you know, so is this, what is this going to print?
It will print each item in the array.
So it will print each element inside the X, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. That's good. So here we print all, and we'll go through everything, and we can, if we want to do the same function of this, then we have to put here if statement to check if num equal I. Is that clear to you? Do you know what is the alternative for that? Okay, that's good. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so let us do a small exercise here. So I'm given an array of integers. Return true if 6 appear in either the first or the last element in the array. The array length will be length 1 or more. So let us try to. This is quite basic and simple. So tell me now, what should we do? Let me go to the compiler and let us print. So a trick that you always can use if you want to put a lot of code. Do you know what this do? What this line do? Oh, sorry. I didn't share the screen yet. Wait, sorry. Can you see my screen? Can you see line number 17?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what this do?
It's prints an empty string 10 times.
Perfect. And if I put like that, it will do the same, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, let me see here. Let us get that out here and put it here. Now, what is the name of the function again that we want to create? Is first and last 6. So we define a function, first and last. So do you still remember what we need to do? We are passed an array here, and we wanted to check if 6 is present in the first element or the last element. If it is, then we return what? We return true, right? If it is not, we return false. So okay, so this is a function. You already know, I think. You know how to call a function, right? Okay, now tell me what should we do first? So is that clear to you how we should think about that? So we have an array like that, okay? And we want to check if 6 is here or here. And we know that the length of the array is minimum 1. Okay, first, okay, I want to understand from you how we check. We cut the problem little by little. The first requirement is to check if 6 is on the first element. Can you tell me how can we read the first element of an array?
It will always be 0 on the index.
So print. I want you to tell me what to write.
Oh, okay. To find the first elements, array R, and then 0 in these square brackets.
Perfect, perfect. So the first thing that I always do in solving a problem is that I start with something simple. Okay, I start with to run something first. So I will just print. So here I will just create a equal or even x equal, and then I will create a sample array 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. And let me put here 10 like that, and I pass x to the function. And let us run. Okay, so you see what he printed for us here? He printed 10, right?
Yes.
So it means that I'm passing the parameter correctly and I am printing correctly. Good. So the first thing I want to check, how to check if the first element is 6. We need to make an if statement or what?
If this first element is equal to 6.
Okay. Equal to 6. Should we use 1 equal sign or 2?
2.
Perfect. Okay. Yep. And then what else should we write?
Then that means it's equal to 6. You can maybe print this number 6. So
6 was found. Okay. Should we write an else?
Well, else if it's not equal to 6, then it was not found in index 0.
Okay. So should we run like that and see?
Okay. Yes.
So it's a 6 was not found, right? So it means that what we are doing is so far correct. Okay. So that is the first thing that we are able to check. So okay, what is the next step to do? We need to check what? So the second requirement is to check if also 6 is present at the last position. So the last position So we copy that code, but the trick here that we need to find a way, instead of 0, we need to find a way to point to the last index. Okay, so how do you think that we can do that? We have a function that can get me something that is close to that position. So let's assume here is 0 to 3. Okay, if 0 to 3, we know that we have 4 elements inside the array. Okay,
yes.
if we know that we have 4 elements inside the array, so do you find any relation between that number and that number?
3 is 1 less than 4.
Perfect. And how I can get 4? How I can get all the elements inside the length of the element inside the array? How can I get that? What is a function that can give me that?
Len array.
Yes. So if we see len array, okay, can we run like that?
It will have to be -1.
Perfect. So okay, but I wonder if we run like that, it will give an error or no?
Okay. No, it won't.
It won't?
I don't think so.
Okay. Okay. So that is a common error that is called index out of range. Okay. Why? Because you actually attempt to access that position. That index is not there. There is no index 4. The array ends here. You are trying to enter the location in the memory that is here, and that is out of the array actually. So we should never use the length directly. We should always use -1. So even in range, you are able to use it in range from 0 to the length of the array, because range take the you know, it's the last number is excluded. It's not included. This why if you write a for loop and you write a range, you can use a len array directly without using -1. That is only because how the range work. But in this case, you should not. So did I make sense to you from what I've said?
Yes.
Did I confuse you?
No.
Okay. So here it will run perfectly. So it said that okay, what was found in last index. Last index. I think if we do like that, then see, we was not able to find 6 at the start, and here it ran correctly, and it already found 6 at the end. Okay, so at the beginner level, I would say, and in any code that you write in your future, you will use a lot of flags. I call these flags, and sometimes you call it status variable. So I said first, I will say, okay, first status. Okay, and I would say that it is false. Okay, so I would say also here last status, and also I would say it's false. And what I will do here, I would okay, so I would replace that print, or even I would just leave it first until we are able to run. So first status equal true. Why I put it true, you know, right?
Yes.
Okay, and I would say here last status equal true. Okay, and then I want to start to say I want to return. So actually, in the beginner level, I would say beginner level. Okay, I would say if first status or last status, and I would say here true, and also I would say here equal true. So what should we do? Should we return false or true?
We should return true.
True. Okay. And we should say else.
Else,
Return.
false.
Okay. Does this make any sense so far?
Yeah.
Okay. So should we run? Okay. And here result equal, and then I print the result to know it is true or false. And I would say here found 6 in the oops. So you see here, I managed to found an X. So it means that our code is running correctly, right? Tojo, can you follow with me?
Answer.
Okay. So Tojo, do you feel that this is a long code? Are we able to make it shorter?
Well, you could use or maybe. So if the array is 0 is equal to 6, or the
So it means that you are telling me to copy that.
well, I think couldn't you just have a one status for both of them to return the true?
Yes, that is smart. Yes. So it means that something like that.
Yes, and then you could take that if statement and put it in the same one as the original, but with an or.
Yes, but the
So if one
problem.
of them is
Wait, but the problem here that see, yes, you are correct. Yes, in this code, yes, we are able to use one. It's true, and it is enough that we use. Yes, it's you are correct actually. So I'm able to found 6. So is that what you want? Is that at the end? Is that the best that we can do here?
no, I meant in the first if statement, couldn't you also add or?
Oh, okay. So like that.
Yes,
So
and then say print 6 was found in one of the indexes, maybe.
oh, okay, yeah, 6 was found. Okay, and then what should we do? Should we remove that, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do we still need that?
Well, you could return the found 6 status,
So
or you could,
hmm.
and then it would return false or true,
So
depending on.
so I should can I copy that return true here? So can I replace that line of code here instead of running this to another if?
Yes.
Can I? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Good. So here I would say, okay, return true. And can I put return false here?
Yeah.
Okay, this means that we managed to eliminate that line of code. And this should not be, actually, this always should be the last, but never mind. And let me see if he accepts that. He accepts it. Okay, so it means that we managed to find, okay, so our code runs correctly, right? And we don't need that anymore, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
do you see, so you see, okay, good. Do you see any other improvements that we can do before we leave here? Tojo?
No, I don't.
Okay. No, actually, we are able to do one last improvement. So we are able to run just one return statement like that, and we can just eliminate the whole code.
Okay.
Okay. So let us try and see. It's still the same. Okay. So actually, that will so it will check this and this, and it will return true or false based on the result of this, just directly, without any if statement.
Okay.
Okay. Is it complicated?
Yes. No. I understand.
Okay, that's good. Let's see if we are able to do something else here. Okay, so I would say this is, would you like to take a second exercise, or would you like to go to the 2D arrays? I don't know if we have, we only have maybe less than 10 minutes. What do you think?
Maybe that's fine. We can go to 2D arrays.
2D arrays?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay. And then I will pass you the exercises in the homework.
Okay.
Okay. So 2D arrays is actually slightly complicated, slightly. So it's always divided. So this is, we always, last time we said this is a 1D array, right? In 2D arrays, we have rows and columns. So that part here, let me see here. So this part here is columns, and all this here is rows. Okay, so here, and let me go to the next slide. I think it's more clear. Did you hear about 2D arrays before?
No.
Okay, this is the
Oh,
first
yes,
time.
I have. Sorry. Yes.
Yes, good. Okay, so if you can see here, this is a clearer picture of actually how the rows and the columns is arranged in a 2D array. So you see here, this is row 1 and row 2 and row 3, and this is column 1 until we reach the end column. So we always, when we do programming code to access the 2D array, is slightly different here, because we always have to access a column by column, and sorry, a row by row. We go to the first row, and whenever we get the first row, we are able to access all the columns inside it, and then we move to the next row and we access all the columns inside it. And we use two kind of square brackets. The first one is for the row, and the second one is for the column. Okay. Okay. So yeah, as we said, here indicates the row, Here indicates the column. That's why whenever we are at row 0, okay, yeah, he call it here row 1, but the index of it is 0. So you see here always 0, because that is the same row. We never change. But what is changing? You always see that the column number is changing. So it starts from 0, 1, 2, 3. Does this make sense? Tujo?
Yes, yes,
Can you still follow?
yes.
Okay. So did you know how to go to traverse an array? Do you know how to say to loop through an array?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see the pseudocode, this pseudocode before?
No, I haven't.
So, okay, that's how he defined the 2D array. He first defined how many rows from 0 to 9 and how many columns from 0 to 2. So this is an array that here we have 0, 1, and 2, and then from 0 to 9 rows. Okay, and this is of integers. He asked us to input all this information, all these integer variables inside. So he make 2 loops, one for the row. So okay, yeah, he start with this is quite strange. He start with the column. Typically, you're able to switch that. It means that, but never mind. Since he write it this way, it's fine. So typically, in even in the Python, we start with a for loop that goes through the rows. Okay, and then on every row, then we enter the values of the column. But here he do it in a different way, but it's fine. He start with a column counter. It's from 0 to 2, same as like the size of the columns here, and he make another row counter from 0 to 9. So it means that he go to the column 0 first, he fill in all the data, and then he go to the column 1, he fill in all the row data, and he come here, he fill in all the row data. Does this make sense? In the how the loop works?
Yeah,
So far, okay, that's good. So here he will take the input from the user, and he will put it according to the value of the row counter and the column counter. Does this make sense to you?
yes.
Okay. Let me see if we are able to show you some examples here. Let me see. Okay. So yeah, let me. So again, we are able to use random to generate for us, but never mind. Let me explain about random next time. Because the time is quite limited. So I would say that is a way to feed in a 2D array with empty strings. So if you see here, this for loop can tell me how many rows we have. Okay, so we have 5 rows from 0 to 4. And we have 4 columns, four empty string columns with empty strings. So let us have a look how this looks like. So that is how the 2D array looks like. This is the first row, and this is the second row. Okay, if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0 to 4. Does this make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay, so you notice here how he created empty strings just in one shot, in one line.
Right. Yes.
Okay, so let us fast. Hopefully, we are able to. So before we are able to run in the for loop, can I understand from you one thing? Are we moving slower or faster?
Faster.
I mean, should we move faster than this?
Oh no, I like this. It's
Okay. So, but let me know. Do you think we need more classes or it's enough so far? Or I need to discuss this with Anne?
I think it's fine so far.
Okay, perfect. So let us try to run here. I would like to go. So this printing here. So for row, for row in range. So what should I row? So what should I write? Range 5?
Yeah.
So I write in range because I already know upfront that this is 5 rows and 4 columns. Okay, I just do it first like that. And then the next session, I will explain what is happening here. So I say this is 2D, and then I would say 2 square brackets, one for the row, first one for the row, and second for the column. And let us see. Let's see like that. Actually, why he is doing like that? Because it's empty. Yeah. Okay. So I would say print something inside first. Put something inside. Okay. I would say here row multiplied by column. Does this make any sense to you?
Yes.
So do you know what I have done on line 14 and 15, right?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So I would say I'm able to, this is the last thing that I'm going to do now. I'll say I'm able to use array 2D like that. So that will get me the number of rows inside automatically. Okay. So if I run, it will still run correctly without an issue. So it means that I dynamically able to detect the array array size, the number of rows. Okay. And on the next session, I will start to explain to you how I can get that also automatically. Okay. So in summary, okay, yes, we wasted some time today to check all the homework, but I think if we check that every session, then we will not have to waste so long time, because you know already this session we checked the homework exercise for all the last 3 or 4 classes. You are aware of that, right?
Yes.
Okay. Would you like me to focus on more exercises during the session, or we focus on more theory? Since you already start to work on the theory, outside the class. What do you think?
Maybe more theory.
More theory, not more exercise.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, good. Okay, see you then. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Okay,
Bye.
take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.